There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.
Welcome to Cuisine with Jean, and we have got a treat for you today. This is Alex. Alex is 11 years old. He is going to cook with his dad, Robert Vire, who was a surgeon here, and now he is working for Humana, and he has the best location for his job, his home.
Yep.
But I bet they have to leave you alone. I mean, you do serious stuff. So, Alex, are you allowed to go interrupt his dad off and on during the day if he's working?
Sometimes, but not. Normally, I only interrupt him once a day. Not really that many times.
When it's really important.
If I do hear that he's on a call, then I won't go in there.
That's very thoughtful of you. Nice young man. And you've got a sister? You want to tell us about her?
She likes to pick on me a lot.
And how old is she and what's her name?
Her name is Emma and she's 14.
Okay. Well, we are glad. In fact, Alex is out of school today, so this is a big treat for you, right?
Definitely.
And when your mom is in a Bible study group with me, and I was asking the ladies if any of them would like to cook on TV, and your mom said, I wouldn't, but my husband is a great cook. And then you were standing beside your dad when I met him, and I said, would you like to come too? And you said, yeah. So do y'all cook together some at home?
Yes, he's been teaching me his ways.
His ways. Okay.
On how to cook.
Well, that's wonderful. So eventually, Robert, he can take over the family meals, right?
That's the idea. He likes, there's a pasta dish I make for him a lot with smoked salmon and pesto, and so
he taught me how to make that.
Yeah, he can make that himself now, so.
Oh, wow.
He makes his own dinner sometimes and helps me with others, yeah.
Well, and I love the fact that men are cooking more than maybe they used to because shared responsibilities and whatnot. But is this something you've been doing a lot throughout your life, or you recently cultivated?
Or what? Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't cook when I was probably in my 20s. I started kind of getting into cooking, and I've just sort of gradually pick up new things here and there.
And you're from Michigan, right?
Actually, my father was in the Army, so I sort of moved all over. My family is from Michigan, and I went to school there, but haven't actually lived there outside of schooling. So I've lived really, for the most part, east of the Mississippi, with the exception of Kansas. But yeah, I lived longer in North Carolina than anywhere else, but Georgia, Maryland, I mentioned Kansas, Alabama, Indiana.
Wow, you did move around like
so,
that.
Yeah.
Well,
is there
things. Any certain type of cuisine? I know we're doing chicken piccata today, but you mentioned pasta, whatnot, right?
Normally with the chicken, we do like to put some angel hair pasta beside it with some sort of gravy-like sauce to add some more flavor to it.
He's really into this, isn't he?
Yeah, I would say I like I like Italian food. That's probably my favorite.
Okay. And Emma, does Emma eat what you cook?
She eats most of it.
Good. Well, she ought to really appreciate that. I mean, and her thought that someday maybe she can be fortunate enough to have a man cook for her also would be, I mean, I'm thinking everybody at home is thinking, wow, I'm going to talk about this tonight. So, okay, well, let's get started. It's chicken piccata.
Chicken piccata, yeah.
Okay, what's first?
All right, let's see. I probably need to turn this up a little more yet.
Medium, yeah. It's not a real hot burner. There you go. Is it? The light's not on, so yeah, that's why it's not hot.
Okay, so.
Okay, good.
We need to play a little catch up here, but yeah. So the first thing we'll do is just kind of heat up some oil. Use about 2 tablespoons. We're going to make a little less than we normally would. Usually, as we mentioned, we got a family of 4, so usually that's how many I'm cooking for. So we would start with the 2 tablespoons of oil.
Is that olive oil?
That's olive oil that I use, yeah.
Okay. Is that what you primarily use?
I usually use olive oil, yes. that I think is
I like the
just
flavor of it.
yeah. That's just your standard extra virgin olive oil. They now make like a I don't know what's different about it, but they make an olive oil that's kind of designed for high temperature heating.
Oh.
That's one of the, I guess, the drawbacks of olive oil. It's got a little lower smoke point than some other oils, but they make one that can be used for more of your frying type things.
When you don't want to use peanut oil because it's not as healthy, right?
Yeah, well, and he's got a little bit of a peanut allergy, so we kind of try
Oh.
to stay away from that.
Okay.
But yeah, you can use this. You can use corn oil, any kind of vegetable oil will work.
So are you going to heat that up and then you want to go ahead and start
Yeah,
preparing
so we'll heat
the chicken?
this, and so Alex is going to do the chicken. And what we have here, this is mainly flour. We actually have put some lemon zest in there
good.
and some pepper, just for a little extra flavor.
Tell us, now did you buy pre-made lemon zest or did you zest the lemon yourself?
Zested the lemon myself.
Do you want to tell people, because a lot of people have never seen somebody do that. Do you want to tell them how you do it?
Yeah, I've got a little, I mean, you can use a cheese grater. I've got a little tool, actually, that kind of takes it off in strips, and you just, the zest, I'll just kind of show a lemon here. I don't know if, is that on? That's just well, you can probably see it better here. The white part you want to avoid. I think that's called the pith, if I remember correctly, but it's the pigmented part here. The yellow part for lemon, or obviously, you can get lime zest, orange zest, whatever. But that does have that actually has some good flavor to it.
Oh, it does, and it's much better fresh if you do, if you freshly grate it. But you're absolutely right. The white part is bitter.
Yeah.
And that would totally negate the benefit. If
Right.
You
So
get
really,
that
what you're
in
doing is just trying to scrape off that yellow, and once you start seeing white, you've done enough in that area.
Okay.
All right. So Alice is going to dredge the chicken, and basically we're just trying to get it covered with a nice layer of the flour mixture there.
And you don't wet it or anything first. You're just
I do
assuming
not.
the moisture that's on
I
it.
just kind of put it in there.
Definitely
Yeah, just flip it over. There you
pour
go.
it
I
all
love
out.
that you're teaching him to
Put it
cook.
all over.
Did he ask to, or did you encourage him to come?
I don't remember how it first started. He's been doing it for a while now. I think he wanted to do it because, again, this is kind of his favorite dish. We'll put it in there.
It should be sizzling right now.
Should be, yeah.
If
We're
the power
playing
had been on.
playing a little catch up with our frying pan here.
Are you going to be cooking that all the way in there? Or are you going to brown it and then?
Yeah, we cook it all the way in here. And this, we should talk a little bit about the chicken. You can use different types of chicken. I like to get the ones that are already thin cut from the grocery store. You can get that because they're just going to cut a little faster. I mean, that's always a concern when you're when I'm doing chicken, is I want to make sure it's cooked all the way through. You certainly don't want raw chicken. I've done this with just chicken tenderloins before. You can do kind of the same idea. They tend to be a little thicker, and I do worry a little bit more about making sure they get cooked all the way through. But yeah, so this is a good thing, as Alex mentioned. A lot of times we'll cook this with angel hair pasta. You can do it with rice, mashed potatoes, any kind of pasta, really. We like to do something over a bed, so as your chicken's cooking, that's a good time to do some of the other things. I've kind of already sliced my lemons. You can use the lemon from the lemon juice. I like to just keep the lemons sliced and use them as a garnish, quite frankly. So I'll just kind of slice those after I zest it. We're going to, here in a minute, we'll kind of chop up some parsley. We're going to add some parsley a little bit later, but while you're starting to get your chicken going, this is a good time to kind of do some of these other things.
Okay.
Any
you
other
want to
sides you
chop
might
the
have.
parsley?
So I'll go ahead and do the parsley, yeah.
Okay. Just slide
Alex,
this
you
there.
keep an eye on the chicken there.
Okay.
And I don't claim to
I
have,
like that sleeve for the
yeah,
knife.
great knife skills, but
Do you mind if I mention? Well, I'm going to do it anyway. But
Go ahead.
you were trained as a surgeon,
yes.
so your hands. You have to be very careful with your hands. But currently, you are working for Humana, and that's an interesting job. I mean, you must enjoy what you do.
Yeah, it keeps, certainly, there's a lot to keep up with in terms of Medicare regulations and that sort of thing. So yeah, it keeps me on my toes.
Right. And is it constantly evolving?
Yes.
So you have a lot of CE required, or do you? And you do it on a national basis,
National
not
basis,
just
right.
Rocky Mountain. You're based here, which is great that you can be based here and still work nationally.
Yeah, it makes for the, not that we get that much inclement weather, but when there's snow on the ground, it's nice to have a commute where you walk up the stairs. So it is nice from that standpoint.
And has that always been the case? I mean, I know with COVID, people started working at home, but have you always, with this position, been able to, or with this career, been able
Yeah.
to work out at home?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Good.
All right, so that's that. I can hear our chickens
That
starting
smells
to
good too.
yeah.
Parsley smells
Yeah, so that's just some parsley. We'll just add that at the end. A lot of times I'll just use dry parsley, but for now
You wanted to be
we'll use the
fancy on
fresh.
TV,
Sure.
didn't you?
The fresh gives it a little extra, a little more pop, I guess. But the dry parsley works well too.
Okay, well, Alex is sizzling and kind of mashing it down to brown a little bit. So we're going to take a break in a few minutes, and what are you going to do when we come back?
Well, we'll finish cooking the chicken, and we actually take that out, and we'll go ahead and kind of make a roux for it, or essentially our sauce, which involves making a roux, I should say.
Do you know what a roux is, Alex?
Oh, no. Definitely not. I was asking him last night when we were preparing, and I was like, what's a roux? And then he's like, it's this sauce thing, and I was like, I'm just going to wait for tomorrow.
So once you learn today, then you'll be able to make the roux for the family going forward, right? Sounds good. What a real technique with roux is you got to cook the flour with the oil, and if you don't, then it tastes like uncooked flour, and it won't thicken properly. So I think it's great that you're teaching him how to cook. Does Emma cook it all?
Emma
Not
cooks.
really.
No, come on. I would say Emma does more baking than.
Oh, okay.
Than cook. Yeah, I don't bake. My stuff is all stovetop or on the grill.
Uh-huh.
My wife and Emma, they do the baking.
Well, that's a nice teamwork.
Yeah, we kind of split it up nicely that way.
We do the cooking, they do the baking.
Yeah, if
Baking.
you want to put it that way. Yeah, so
Yeah.
if it involves sautéing or a grill, that's kind of right up my alley. And they're more in the oven.
Well, let's take a break, and we'll finish that off cooking during the break probably, so it'll be ready to move forward when we come back.
Sounds good.
Stay with us, please.
There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.
And Chef Alex has been tending to the chicken very diligently, and it's beautifully browned up, isn't it, Alex?
Yes, you want to get that tender golden brown look.
Uh-huh.
This one might have gone a little bit overcooked, but this one's definitely the perfect. You want it just like this. For that good texture.
And I've noticed you've been kind of mashing on it. Is that kind of to help make sure it's cooked all the way through?
Yes, definitely.
He's been taking very good care of the chicken.
Yes, he has. I think we're probably ready. All right, Alex, why don't you go ahead and move those. So we're going to take these out of the pan now. Just set them to the side. You can cover it with tinfoil if you want to help keep it warm, although we're going to warm it up at the end, so I usually omit that step.
What, you put it back in?
Yeah, we'll put it back in once we get our
sauce.
sauce made.
Okay.
Just go ahead and set that there.
I can tell if at 11, if you were this skilled, boy, the future is yours as far as you're increasing your talent.
The other side's good.
Yeah, it looks good on the other side. And so there's probably a little bit of flour in with the oil.
Yeah, so I mean,
already.
you can kind of see, you still got your brown stuff. You got a little flavor here, and we're just going to add the butter to that.
So a couple tablespoons of butter. I'm good while you're doing that. A half a cup plus a tablespoon and a half of flour separated. All this will be on Cuisine with Jean. A half a lemon zested and juiced separated. Salt to taste, pepper to taste, 4 chicken breasts. We're doing, I guess, half the recipe, but we're going to give you the 4. Boneless, skinless, and it's about a ½ inch thick. 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1/4 of a cup of butter, a cup of chicken broth, a ½ a cup of white wine, and 3 tablespoons capers, 2 tablespoons parsley chopped. And I think it's really neat that, Alex, you like capers, don't you?
Definitely.
I don't know many people his age who even know what capers are.
I don't either. Do you know what a caper? You know what a caper is, don't you, Alex? What is it?
I kind of think it's like a pea. Like
No, it's
in
not a pea.
something.
Come on, we've been over this. What is it?
A plant?
Caper is actually a flower.
It is?
Yep,
Oh, I didn't know that.
you've been told. We first learned that in Asheville, North Carolina, as a matter of fact.
Okay, this is medium.
Yes, this is medium. Okay, so we've got our butter melted, and we can really smell it. It smells really good. And so I'm just going to add a tablespoon and a half of flour, and I do this about a half tablespoon at a time. Normally, I wouldn't use flour that had touched raw poultry, but we're going to cook it, I'm not too worried about it. And so get this in here and just really kind of mix it up. You could use a whisk. I've usually had good luck just using a spatula, though. And so we're going to get this...
As long as you break up all the...
Yeah, we're going to get this flour really mixed in there. And this is making a roux, which is basically... a roux is basically just flour dissolved in a fat of some sort. We've got a little bit of olive oil left in. And we're using butter mainly when I do a turkey gravy, where I use the fat from the turkey drippings to do this, but same idea. And this just will help give our sauce some thickness. And really, this is, to me, the thing that makes this piccata recipe over others I've tried is the sauce. You really get almost like a gravy. It's a nice thick sauce that you get. A lot of piccatas I've done. You get sort of a very thin sauce, which can be tasty, but I don't know. I like the thickness of this sauce.
When you kind of play it by ear a little bit for the thickness, and then it's, of course, cooking the flour while you're with the hot oil. Did you have a role model with growing up? Like, did your dad cook, or?
My dad did some cooking. It was mostly my mom, though.
Uh-huh.
I'd say she's the one I learned. I didn't get into cooking until later. Now, certainly since then, I've gotten a lot of recipes from her, things I remember as a kid.
Oh, good.
But a lot of my learning has been what you might call self-taught. So this is kind of our base. It's a little bit thick here, and then what we do is we add some chicken stock, and this is a cup of chicken stock. Like you say, you don't want to necessarily shill for Sam's Club, but I like to get the big jug of bouillon cubes and just make it up myself. I've got one of those several years ago. I think it's going to outlive me, quite frankly, because I think I still got about 2/3 of that left after using it for several years. And so again, I just kind of add the chicken stock a little bit at a time, and it's going to make a nice looking
What do you
sauce
see,
here.
Alex, as you're watching your dad doing that? Tell us what you're seeing.
I'm seeing him put in the chicken stock, the butter, all that flour.
And what does that look like to you?
Mainly just the sauce we always use.
And it's getting thicker, isn't it?
Definitely.
And I like the little pieces in it. I think
Yeah, that's going to be good.
Yeah, those are the. You know what those pieces are, Alex?
Probably the flour or the pieces of chicken.
Yeah, they're what you left in there when you were cooking the chicken for him, and he's scraping the bottom of the pan to get the flavor of what you left for him to include that in the sauce that he's making. And I think, Alex, you said you like sauces over things like angel hair pasta and stuff, right?
Yeah, sauces prove to be a big part in most pastas. Because pasta by itself with some stuff can be pretty bland. Doesn't have much of an aftertaste. But if you add some sauces, then it definitely adds a lot of opportunity to it.
I love that. It adds the opportunity.
The opportunity, yep. And so we're going to add some cooking wine in here. Now, like I've used cooking wine. Obviously, you can use table wine. Table wine's probably a little bit better, quite frankly, but this is easier. So add a little cooking wine. We're going to bring this up to a boil. Just let all the alcohol simmer off. We're also going to add some lemon juice. Like we talked about, you can juice the lemons. I like to keep the lemon for garnish and just use some prepackaged lemon juice, but obviously you can juice the lemon as well, and just, nice little amount of that to taste.
And the zested lemon was in the flour that was
Right,
on
so
the
the
chicken.
you can't really see it too well, but we actually do have some zest in there, and that gets in, that gets in with the, not really breading, I guess, but the coating of the chicken.
Now, is the parsley for garnish, or is the parsley going to go in there?
We're going to add, so we'll add, once we get this kind of thinned out a little more, we're going to add the chicken back in, we'll have the capers in, and then, at the just before I plate, I'll go ahead and add the parsley in here.
Do you add any of the, I guess, brine or the liquid with the capers with it?
I usually do not.
Okay.
We pour that out, yeah. I guess it depends how salty you like things, because it's going to add a little more salt to it for sure.
And have you added any salt and pepper other than maybe what you added to here?
I add pepper into that. I don't usually add salt even. I don't add a lot of salt to my cooking personally.
okay.
I think usually you get enough salt elsewhere. If you like things a little saltier, certainly you can add it. Add the salt to the coating and the flour mixture.
Well, and I have to say, he's a physician, folks, and so he knows what's good for your body and for your health and whatnot. So that makes a difference
Right.
when
Yeah.
you're wanting your family to be healthy too.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I'm not real big on added salt.
Alex, are you pretty healthy, you think? You look like you are.
Okay.
He's a soccer player and a tennis player, so
Oh.
he's got to
Are you really?
stay in shape.
Good
I
for
don't
you.
play tennis competitively, but I still go there for practice.
Good. Now you play soccer competitively?
Yes.
Great. Where, for your school?
Yes.
Super. Is it like JV or
It's JV.
early school or JV?
Yeah,
Well,
he's
good
on
for
the JV
you.
team this year. Yeah, first year.
I think being involved in sports is great for kids for discipline and
Oh, yeah.
learning to take
Teaching.
instruction and
Teaching teamwork, all that good stuff.
uh-huh. Okay, well, we've got about 1 minute. Why don't we come
Okay.
back and finish it off, and we may let Alex taste it. What do you think, Alex? You'd
Okay.
like to do that? Okay, we'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.
Alex, you've been cooking hard since we took a break, haven't you?
Thank you.
What are you adding now?
Currently, we're adding capers. They add kind of an extra. They have kind of a strong taste
Uh-huh.
for such a small little thing.
Yeah,
And they definitely add some variety into it. I like adding a lot of capers. Some other people in my family, really my mom, she doesn't like as much as me, but she definitely likes them too. Most of our family does like capers.
Emma doesn't like them as much. Then we'll add the parsley. We'll just kind of throw that in. Normally, like we say, we'd have a little more chicken in here. And then, yeah, you're ready to go.
This is already cooked.
Yeah, so that's with some pre-cooked angel hair pasta. That's what I like to do. Sometimes I'll do it on rice or other pastas. Sometimes we'll do mashed potatoes with it because then you can kind of put the gravy on there. And, if you like the sauce, as I do.
It
got a little
really
extra
smells
sauce.
good.
And for Alex, I'll usually try to find extra capers and put extra capers on his piece. And there we have it.
That looks wonderful.
All right, Alex, why don't you go ahead and try it and let us know how it tastes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
thank you.
Yeah, it's not often we get a professional taster here.
You know?
That looks really, really good. And the green, of course, the parsley and oh, wait, lemons.
Oh, I
We're supposed to
always
garnish it?
forget the lemons, yes. And
Okay.
like I say I like to use them, but oftentimes I forget. But yeah, you put this out,
And you wouldn't eat the lemon though, would you, Alex?
and that's going to look nice.
Okay, here we go. Passed your test? Can you describe it to us?
Very good as always. The chicken has that kind of tough texture while the roux kind of smoothens it out. Along with that capers for that stronger taste and the parsley for a good aftertaste.
Is this about how much you would eat, or would you eat like one piece of chicken and a little bit less pasta, or do you have a pretty big appetite? If you play sports, you might.
After soccer games, definitely.
Or do you think you could come back again sometime and learn another recipe, and you and your dad could do another one for us and teach us how to cook?
Maybe. That would be pretty fun.
Well, why don't you tell other young people watching and their dads why you think it's important for dads and sons to cook together, or dads and daughters?
Keep the family recipes going. This is an easy, fun for the family dish. And definitely just keep on cooking. Do what you desire to do.
Don't you
Good
just
advice.
love him?
Great advice.
Well, Robert and Alex, thank you so much, and we really do appreciate it, and we will ask you back again, okay?
Bye.
Thank you for joining us.
There's never been a better time to sell or trade your used car or truck.
Davenport Auto Park is ready to buy your pre-loved vehicle. The market is hot for used cars and we're paying top dollar.
Drive into Davenport today and turn your car into cash.
You'll get a cash offer on the spot. We'll even pay off your loan and give you a ride home.
Or we'll help you pick out a new ride.
Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount. For the ride of your life and the life of your ride. Davenport Auto Park, Rocky Mount.